Well, it's always an exciting time of year to finally kind of get into game week and get this thing started. I was really pleased with our work that these guys put in during camp the month of August, leading up to this point, playing a quality opponent, a program we got a ton of respect for, and Coach Gundy and what he's been able to do really over a long period of time. And you look at watching their tape, they got some athletes on both sides of the ball and some returning players on both sides of the ball that pose problems. And so it's going to be a great challenge for us that I know our guys are looking forward to. Again, they've been working really hard and feel like we've been practicing well. Just walked off the practice field today, and I thought it was really good today. I think all of you guys got maybe a depth chart and some. I just want to make some updates on that. Starting with Andre Hughes Murray, took a foot injury last week, and so it's a longer term injury. You won't see him out here. We're not quite ready to say season ending, but it's a lengthy one. Bradford will not be ready to go. He's been dealing with that foot. Simon Sandberg, knee, a couple of weeks we think, but he will not be going on game one. But again, excited about the group we got healthy. I do think we got some more depth, and we're going to find out a ton about our team on Friday night. So, questions?
A couple more depth chart things. I'm assuming the or on Noah and Teagan is just could be one or two guys. You just
right. They're going to play a bunch, both of them.
It does. I mean, that's just sort of an interchangeable type.
Yeah, especially the way we do things on offense. We're substituting personnels and different guys are in, but both those guys we feel are starters, and they'll be on the field some on this at the same time.
And then where are you at on Jalen at this point? Is he?
J-Mo?
Yeah,
he's working through it. He did a little bit more today. And that'll be a kind of a call if he's good to go on Saturday or not.
Okay.
You talked about the depth. How difficult or was it easy to kind of come up with the two deep and get guys into positions that you feel like have earned that through camp?
Yeah, it's never easy. I mean, some positions it's pretty clear. And some of the depth chart, we don't put our starting 11 on punt on the depth chart. We got some starters on special teams that maybe aren't on that too deep, but it was competitive. It really was. I feel like we got more depth and feel good about not just the guys on that list, really the whole group that it's been competitive and we got some depth.
Who are some guys, some starters that you might see on special teams?
You'll see some Luke Musgrave. You'll see Riley Sharp out there doing some things. I'm trying to think of the two deep too, and then who's not, but those guys come to mind.
Maybe none of the one. I mean, of the ones, any of the ones
on that. Yeah. We play some starters on teams for sure.
Who?
Nashawn will run down on kickoff. Josiah Irish will be a decent amount. Tyjon Lindsay will be doing some things on teams, not just offense, and not just only returning. So yeah, we got quite a few. Those linebackers are going to be on punt and kickoff. Some of them on kickoff return / punt return. Yeah.
And then Jack is the plan with him just as need be in a game in short yardage stuff?
Well, I don't want to totally tell you exactly,
right.
But
if you're feeling the need.
Yeah, I mean, we feel like he could operate at quarterback, and he's going to contribute on defense and contribute in special teams.
Okay, just a couple more depth chart questions. No Caleb Hayes anywhere on the 2 deep?
Still in the mix, yeah. Some of it because we're listing the or at one side at corner, but he's still in the mix. You might see him out there a little bit.
And then it looks like Hamilka is second string. Matt Tago jumped him.
Tago and Gums will be the first ones to run out there. You're going to see a bunch of Ham. You're going to see a bunch of McCartan. Really, those four guys are going to rotate a ton throughout the game.
Hey, Coach. Compared to last year at this time, your team strength and your team chemistry, how much further along are you in those two categories?
Yeah, I think we've made some huge strides in both of them. The strength piece we've talked a lot about. I think the offseason they did a great job. Started with our strength staff and the work that those guys put in and things. I think our chemistry has continued to grow. I like the way we're working and doing it together. So I think we're much further along.
Looking ahead at Oklahoma State, their offense is explosive. How do you feel your defense, and especially the secondary, is ready to handle that?
Yeah, it's going to be a great test for them because they do. They're explosive throwing the ball. They get some playmakers that can make things happen back there, and so it's a great challenge. I do feel like, again, back to our preparation, these guys have been working. We like the output we're going to put out there, and again, we'll find out a good amount on Friday night.
Last year you opened on the road, this year's at home. I know there's some obvious differences to that. But what are maybe some under the radar things that make it beneficial to starting at home versus the road?
Well, the first thing I think is you're just not dealing with the travel. You're going to be playing the game in a comfortable spot where you know. So there's some advantages there. In the lead-up time, you're not getting on an airplane and going and staying in a hotel. I think our home crowd makes a difference. And so anytime you're playing in front of your own fans, it's got to be a difference maker for us. So those things.
And then you've been through this quite a few openers yourself. You're playing in Oklahoma State, you played in Ohio State last year, but you've also, I'm sure in your career, have opened with a much easier opponent. What's the benefit to opening with a fairly tough opponent as opposed to easing your way into the schedule?
Yeah, I think there's always excitement. Whoever you're playing, first game, there's always excitement to it. I think there's some added piece of playing a respected program like we're doing. And so I'm into challenges, and we got one week one. I think our guys are the same way. They want to play against a good opponent, and we're definitely getting it.
Coach, two guys on your chart here, BJ Baylor and Champ Flemings. They seem like they've had good summers. Can you talk about them?
Yeah, BJ had awesome spring ball, and then he did a great job during fall camp. He's earned some playing time, doing some different things, not only on offense, special teams. Champ's always been a hard worker. I think he's taken a step in his game, and we talked about it actually individually receiver-wise, like the detail in his route running, getting to his proper depths, like having some discipline in that. And that's why we feel awesome about putting him out there.
I'm sure it's difficult to prepare for that opener anyway because you don't have film of this year and guys in there. But Mike Gundy's not announced a quarterback. Does that change, or how difficult is that for you guys to not know who's going to be there, under center and maybe what they can do with them?
Yeah, I think anytime, first games, you don't exactly know what it's going to look like. You got to base off of what it looked like last year, and you research on who they have, and if you don't have tape on them, you look into those guys. We're not making large changes defensively. I know schematics with this quarterback or it's that one.
In regards to your offense, last year it got a lot of kudos, I guess, for lack of a better word. But the third down conversions, how much have you worked on, getting it to a manageable situation? Because it looked like if you were 3rd and 5 or better, your chances went way up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had a lot of 3rd and longs last year, and the negative plays. How much is that going to play into the long-term success of the team if you can get that number fixed?
We want to be better on third down, and oftentimes, like you're getting to, if you improve on first and second down, you're going to improve on third down for the distances part. One of the major things we want to improve on is sack avoidance. And, again, if you don't take sacks, you're not going to be nearly in those third and extra longs. So it's been a point to improve on the sack piece, and then I know that'll trend into third down.
Watching a couple of games last Saturday, they were awfully sloppy games.
I know it's tough.
Is it just the opener?
It looked like opening games, especially it looked like 0-week opening games,
Yeah.
like even a week earlier. But, you just talk about it. And again, we've been emphasizing the details of things the last really week and a half because they know the plays that we're going to run. I mean, we're not drawing up brand new stuff at this point. So we're trying to detail that up so we don't play sloppy.
Coach, how do you feel about the offensive line and how it's come together during the camp, and particularly at the center position? It's an or you listed out with Nathan and
Right.
News.
We feel good about those guys. Obviously the left side, having some veterans there, but even the right side, I like Clay. He had a really good camp, the way he was going, and then Kipper, athletic on the edge there at right tackle. Both those centers we feel good about, and we're going to kind of let them continue to compete the next couple of days to see. We haven't decided anything on, well, maybe we'll play them both, but I don't think that's out of the equation.
This might be like the $1 million question, but first game, Oregon State historically has sometimes come out slow, even at a home game. I think maybe this might be a bigger year than most to come out and really show Beaver Nation how much more, improved. How do you as a coaching staff keep these guys motivated to really come out and start fast?
Yeah, I think we got to prepare well, and then definitely have them fresh leading up into the game. We don't talk a ton about what's gone on in the past. It's controlling what we can control, our preparation. I know these guys will be excited, but then it comes to executing early in the game, and it's the first game of the year, controlling our emotions, but playing with some emotions. So I get it. We want to start fast for sure, and I think every coach would say if I had an exact answer to know how we're going to do that, they'd be implement it. But what I do know is our preparation's been great. And we're going to keep on working. Got our chance Friday night.
Are you making any changes in terms of coaches being upstairs and being on the field this year?
No. Brian and Tibbs will be upstairs. I think it's all the same.
Same.
Yeah.
And then Jordan, is he going to do kickoffs and all the place kicking, or?
Yep,
is there-
yep. Jordan will be the first guy out there for both those. We do have some options though behind him with Jake and so you might see a sprinkle of some others, but Jordan's going first.
Was this a good year? And if yes, then is this the deepest you think you've come into a season as far as injuries goes in fall camp?
Yeah, I feel like we're healthier. I mean, you're always going to have a few that are long-term. I mean, just physicality of the game, but I do feel like we're deeper and healthier than we were a year ago.
And is this one better than last year? You feel pretty solid about your core of running backs because you got some solid guys back there.
Yeah,
three
I do
deep.
feel good, and we just know him a year better, you know. No one in this room at this point last year knew Jamar was Jamar. And so you feel good, like you got some depth. AP's coming back for his senior season, and he's practiced well. And we already talked about BJ as well.
When you say that, Coach, did you know Jamar was Jamar at this time last year?
No, I thought he was good. Yeah, I definitely thought he was good, but maybe not quite as good so early.
And is that the type of thing in any team to have the kind of success you want? Guys will step up that you're not necessarily expecting to, per se.
Yeah, I mean, games get played, and then some guys do. They rise to the occasion, whatnot, and can handle maybe more than what you were initially giving them, and we're counting on that. Like we're saying, everyone's improving, developing. Got a bunch of sophomores on this team, and so we got some younger guys that'll be playing and showing some things.
With Oklahoma State's quarterback situation, are you just expecting they're going to play two guys, and do you just go on what they've done in the past, or have you looked a lot at Hawaii to see how
Right.
one of them?
Yeah, I just think in general, our plan really doesn't change if one guy's taking the snap and then the next series another guy's taking the snap, and that's how we approach it. Like, you know, we're defending their offense, not just one guy.